we actually see that Gon, his aura is flowing slower than the speed of his punches. Hey, what's up everybody? It's LeeLos, and today we're talking about why Nen is genius. Stay steady in pursuit of your dreams and goals. You're born to win, you're made for greatness, and I definitely believe in you guys. Keep up the great work each and every day. So Nen Combat is a battle system with many different elements. Today I wanted to focus on some of the more nuanced details of the Nen Combat system that give it a lot of depth and really helps Nen stand out as one of the most thorough and detailed power systems in all of Shonen. The basics of Nen are Ten, Ren, and Gyo, which Gon and Killua learn in Heaven's Arena. These concepts essentially become the building blocks for nearly everything else Nen related that Gon and Killua learn throughout the rest of the series. Ten gives a buff to your defenses, Ren is the outward projection of your aura, Zetsu is closing your aura, and Gyo is allocating aura to different parts of your body. In Heaven's Arena, they focus on allocating aura to their eyes, but in later arcs, it's revealed that you can essentially allocate aura to any part of your body once you gain more experience. We also see in Heaven's Arena that at first, Gon and Killua can barely maintain Gyo at all. Just using Gyo for a few seconds, standing still, looking at a video of Nen Combat causes Killua to become tired, but as they gain more experience throughout the Greed Island arc, Gon and Killua become so proficient with Gyo that they can use it almost instinctively and gain the ability to use Gyo while fighting at the same time. Also, another element of Ten is that using it makes the user age more slowly, so this could be the reason as to why Netero is like 120 years old, but is still pretty youthful. I wonder if Gon and Killua learning Ten at a young age like this is actually causing them to age more slowly as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. In Heaven's Arena, even though they don't start learning these abilities yet, Hatsu is happening all around them. Hatsu is a unique Nen ability that the user creates that ideally aligns with their natural Nen type. Some categories, people actually change Nen types throughout their lifetime. The concept of Hatsu abilities on its own has so much depth to it that could be a video all on its own. So if you guys want an analysis on Hatsu itself, let me know in the comments. When we get to Greed Island, we get to see the more complex applications of the earlier Nen techniques Gon and Killua had learned. Essentially, when you combine two or more basic Nen concepts together, you get a more advanced Nen technique. For example, when you combine Ten plus Ren, you get a new Nen technique called Ken. Ken boosts your defense and is far more powerful than just Ten on its own. Not only is this shown during their training, but it's also proven during Gon's battle against Knuckle, in which Gon states if he wasn't using Ken, Knuckle would have one-shot him with one of his warm-up punches. Seeing how Gon then goes on to take dozens of these punches, this shows us that Ken is magnitudes more powerful as a defensive mechanic than just ordinary Ten would be. It literally lets you hold your own with people that would one-shot you otherwise. If somebody that's using Ken then uses Gyo to allocate aura to different parts of their body, this is called Ryu. This is essential to pretty much every Nen battle that happens from Greed Island onwards, and it's a concept that can be used to differentiate between experienced and inexperienced Nen users. First off, the speed and smoothness in which you can use Ryu is one sign of how experienced of a Nen user you are. For example, when Bisky demonstrates Ryu to Gon, Gon states it was so fast he could barely even see the aura flow. However, when Gon and Killua first do Ryu sparring with one another, the narrator states that a rookie could never parry a master's movements no matter how much the master is holding back. So Ryu sparring can only be done between two people that are either of equal skill level or equal strength, depending on which translation you read. We also see that when Gon fights Genthru states that Gon's aura flow when using Ryu is still very inexperienced. We actually see that Gon, his aura is flowing slower than the speed of his punches. So for example, when Gon throws throws a punch, his punch will hit the person first, and then his aura catches up second. This is what's happening in his fight against Genthru. In the series Jujutsu Kaisen, this exact same thing actually happens with Yuji, where his cursed energy has a delayed effect because his attacks are faster than his cursed energy can flow. And in Jujutsu Kaisen, this actually becomes a unique ability where he's hitting people twice with one attack. But in Hunter x Hunter, there is no benefit to doing this. It's merely a sign that you're inexperienced. You don't get a second attack from it. All that happens is that your punch is weaker. As Gon gets stronger and a bit more experienced with Nen combat, as he fights Knuckle, Knuckle doesn't explicitly say that Gon's punches are still leaving his aura flow behind, but Knuckle states that Gon's aura flow is rough in general, meaning just by looking at the flow of his aura, Knuckle's able to predict what Gon's next attack will be. This is a very interesting and nuanced concept within the Nen combat system. The overall smoothness of your aura control. Essentially, more experienced Nen users have a very smooth aura flow, meaning you cannot predict their attacks by looking at the flow of their aura at all. This is stated about Netero, in which Zeno states that Netero's aura is very quiet, and you can't predict his next attack by looking at his aura flow. Furthermore, using Ryu involves allocating percentages of your aura to different parts of your body. Finally, the last major concepts of Nen combat that I wanted to talk about in today's video are aura output, aura capacity, and aura efficiency. Essentially, the simple way to put it is aura capacity is the total amount of aura that a character has, and the aura output is the total amount that they can use in one attack. And both your aura output and aura capacity can be increased by training. This makes it so that older and more experienced Nen users typically should be stronger than younger and newer ones, simply because they've had more time to build their aura output and aura capacity. Aura output and aura capacity are two of my favorite concepts in the entire story of Hunter x Hunter. I view it to be a genuinely genius concept because it adds so much depth to something that would otherwise be considered pretty straightforward. For example, in a lot of series, it's common for characters to eventually get power levels given to them in the story. The thing with power levels is typically when you look at them, it tells you this character is objectively stronger than a character that has a lower power level than him. But in Hunter x Hunter, having aura capacity and aura output changes this concept altogether. We get some form of a quote-unquote power level system in Hunter x Hunter when Knuckle reveals that he can actually measure how much aura someone has with a number. But what makes it unique in Hunter x Hunter is this just measures their aura capacity, meaning the total amount of aura within their body. This doesn't measure their aura output. And there's so many other elements in Nen combat that you can actually defeat people who have far more aura than you. The idea of making there a difference between aura capacity and aura output is genuinely genius because it solves the problem where power levels just tell you who's going to win. In Hunter x Hunter, the amount of aura someone has does not tell you who's going to win in most battles. Many other factors tell you who's going to win. This is actually something Morel pretty much word for word says. When Killua says that he doesn't think that Morel, Netero, or Nove would be able to defeat Pito, Morel states, looking at how much total aura somebody has doesn't mean much in a Nen battle. There's so many other elements. Usually you don't know what someone's Hatsu ability is, and one mistake can change the outcome of a fight. It's just overall, Nen is a very genius concept, but splitting aura capacity and aura output is really underrated. Gon has an aura capacity of 21,500. Meanwhile, Morel has an aura capacity of 70,000, meaning Morel has more than 3 times as much aura as Gon. Not only that, Morel is far more experienced than Gon is, so in theory, Morel should defeat Gon 100% of the time, no matter what happens. Morel is much more likely to defeat Gon in a Nen battle pretty much no matter what, but despite this, Gon's aura output is so insane when he uses rock that he can actually one-shot Morel still. It's just a very interesting concept. Even though Gon is weaker than Morel in pretty much everything, he is depicted to be superior to for Morel in one thing, which is aura output using his rock when he's angry. It scales above Morel's maximum Nen defense, and with it he can one-shot him. Furthermore, something that adds even more depth to aura output is there's a chance that you might be able to hold back when you're using Ken. This is a debatable thing because it happens early on in the series, but during the fight of Uvogen versus Kurapika, Uvogen states that he's starting the fight at 20% power, then he goes up to 50% power, and then finally he's at 100%. So in theory, he might be using Ken at 20%, then goes up to 50%, then finally goes up to using Ken at 100% of his output. Honestly, you can also make the argument that maybe Togashi hadn't thought of the concept of Ken just yet during this fight, so let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Now, aura efficiency is something that's not ever even given a proper title. It's just something that's described to us when Knuckles explaining his ability to Gon. Knuckles states that you use about 1 aura per second, and in combat, when you use Nen techniques like Gyo, Ryu, or Ken, your aura consumption increases 6 to 10 times more. He then goes on to state that Gon, because he's not good at controlling his aura yet, he's using 10 aura per second. This tells us people who are better at controlling their aura use less aura to do the same Nen techniques. So for example, in theory, a Nen master like Netero can use Gyo, Ryu, and Ken, and he's only consuming 6 aura per second. Meanwhile, someone who's inexperienced like Gon, when he's using the same techniques, Gyo, Ryu, and Ken, he's using 10 aura per second. This concept is not given a name, but I've just been calling it aura efficiency. Essentially, people who are better at controlling their aura are more efficient with their aura. They can do the same techniques, but use less aura when they do them. There's many more things that I could talk about with Nen. I just wanted to briefly talk about some of the more nuanced details of the Nen combat system, because I genuinely think it's one of the best written, if not just genuinely the best written, power system that I've ever seen. But that's everything I wanted to say. Let me know in the comments if you guys want an in-depth video of me talking about Hatsu, and let me know if you guys like these analysis videos. Up until now, with my Hunter x Hunter content, I've done power scaling, and I've done a few fight analysis videos, but if you guys like these, I can make more videos just analyzing Hunter x Hunter concepts in general. You know, before, these were the kind of things that I would do as live stream videos, but if you guys like them as actual videos, then I can make more of them. That's everything I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the views, I appreciate the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see ya on the next one.